Good morning and welcome to today's discussion on blissful awareness. It's a good opportunity for all of us to connect and talk about spiritual matters, how we are doing how we are progressing on this path. Is there some difficulties and how to move ahead? So, everybody is welcome to share their thoughts, views, or whatever they want to talk about or write something. In the meantime, to start the discussion, I will take up some questions which have come last week, and from in between, anybody can is most welcome to share their thoughts. So, Khaled had one comment or a question, sort of a thing, that is it that the experiencer never suffered because suffering is the feeling of I am suffering appearing to be true. So, for instance, I can say I never suffered, for there was no I to begin with. So, the point he's saying is that whether the experiencer suffers, and if I am the experiencer, and if it is that experiencer does not suffer, then suffering is also not true because there was no I to begin with. You are right. I think most of us will be agreeing with what he has mentioned because experiencer is beyond suffering or pleasure. He is experiencing the suffering or pleasure, but he is not getting impacted by it. It's very difficult to imagine what is experiencer because as soon as we coin a word experiencer, we will try to imagine we will try to attribute some meaning to this word experiencer, and which will also we will try to compare it with something, and that comparison will always be with certain experiences which we have in our waking state mostly, because in dream and other states, I mean, most of us don't have the awareness. Now, when we take into cognizance our waking experiences and try to compare it, that what is it which matches with the experiencer, and sometimes we try to find a concept, we will try to build up some imagination that this is how experiencer is. And then you are also saying that there was no I to begin with. Now let me try to put it more simply, that can there be I without the experiencer? Can I has independent existence? First. Second, is I different from the experiencer? If you contemplate on these two things, whether I can exist independently of experiencer, then perhaps you will find that if there is no experiencer, there is no I. And second, whether the I is any different from experiencer, or whether I is ever seen which is independently existing without experiencer, or is experiencer and I are seen away sometimes, means only I is existing and experiencer is not there, or the experiencer is existing but I is not there. So, I mean, just to understand it in more much simpler terms, I is a illusion, but that illusion is also experiencer. It is not different from the experiencer. This is at the level of non duality. When we say it is at the level of non duality, it should not be interpreted that there is some other level which is dual. That is also not the case. Actual, the reality and the truth is the non duality, because there is no other proof which we get that the duality exists. So, all this duality, we take it as a experiential reality which is required for maintaining this body. And in this duality, the illusion only works, right? So we give it more importance. We think this is more stable, therefore it is true. Therefore, we always think that the waking state is true. Whereas slightly contemplating, and with the grace of a guru, we will always try to, if we corroborate it with our own experiences as well as logic, we will find that I cannot exist without the experiencer. So one part of your question is right, that experiences never suffers and therefore suffering itself is an illusion. The second part is that suffering also is nothing which is different from the experiencer. Now, this needs to be understood very clearly, that whatever is illusion is not different from experiencer, because that's how we started the conversation today. That is I different from experiencer. So I becomes different from experiencer as if when there is a ignorance that I am the experiencer, and that ignorance will project I as something else. That's why we called, there are two wheels, I mean two powers in illusion. First is to wheel what is the truth, and second is to project truth as something else. So wheeling and projection. So once the truth is wheeled, it is hidden, then something else appears as truth. Like, you can't say that I exist and you can't say it doesn't exist. Like the water in the desert. Can you say it exists? But you can't say it doesn't exist because you can see that. If it is doesn't exist, what is that which you are seeing as water? Maybe it is not water. It is something else. We say it is light. Same way, whatever we assume ourselves to be, other than the experiencer, will always be an illusion, will always be a false image which we have imposed on something which cannot be known. So, in that reference, there are few inferences which can be taken from this, that experiencer never suffers. That is true. And suffering is feeling of I am suffering appearing to be true. Absolutely correct. So, for instance, I can say I never suffered. Yes, if you think yourself to be the experiences, you never suffered. So, there was no one, no I to begin with. But there is nothing else but I to start with also. I mean, what is there other than I? Whatever you are experiencing is only the I. And that I is not different from experiencer. So, the I which is assumed to be different from experiencer is the ignorance. I think, and I hope this is clear. Otherwise, all who have joined in the call may add to it, because although Buddha said that there is suffering and there is a reason for suffering, and it is possible to eliminate the suffering, and there is a way out how you can achieve the elimination of suffering. But in the end, he also said that there is no suffering, there is no I, there is no way to eliminate the suffering. So both the teachings are there. If you think suffering is real, then there is definitely, you can't tell a person who is having a pain in his leg or a knee that no, no, it is unreal, so don't do anything. That is impractical, right? So for that matter, you say yes, suffering is real, and then there is a cure for it, and there is a reason which can be attributed to it. I'm sorry, I think there was some problem with the connection. So Buddha has both the teachings. First, we can't tell a person that suffering is unreal just because it is an illusion. So that doesn't make any sense. So first, get rid of the suffering, but ultimately, as your own experience will tell you that all sufferings are unreal. In absolute sense, there is no suffering, and in absolute sense, there is no way to come out of suffering also, because there is no suffering. And third, no practice is needed to come out of suffering. The only way to come out of suffering is to know why there is suffering. If we assume there is suffering, and that suffering will be attributed always to the ignorance, because ignorance will make you think you are something else which you are not, and that assumption will make your suffering real. So even if we talk about relative truth, pain is real. pain can be assumed to be real, because if somebody pinches your hand, you will have some sensation, and that sensation, if it is not pleasant, can be termed as pain. But the same doesn't hold true for suffering. If a person is there who can magnify the pain, there are few persons who magnify pain like anything, and there are other persons who take it in a lighter vein. And the third, there can be persons who are in between these two extremes. So, I mean, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. We have to think it from our own perspective, our own way of living the life. So, my view is that suffering can be absolutely eliminated, because it is, to start with, it is a thing which we imposed on ourselves in ignorance. I hope it is clear. If somebody else wants to, if he does, somebody doesn't agree with it, you're most welcome to add your bit, because I don't know everybody has the same experience or not. But I have found it very true that some people suffer a lot and some people doesn't seem to be suffering. Like, a very good example is Ramakrishna Paramahans. Even when he was having cancer in his throat, it doesn't mean that he was not having pain. But was he always talking about his pain? Oh, I am having this physical disease and I can't speak properly. And all, was he cribbing all the time? Like, there are few people whom I know very close. Whenever you talk to them, they always say, I have a pain in my knee and this, and the whole conversation for 15 minutes will be centered about that pain. So, is that is that the right way of understanding who you are, or does it only signifies that there is some error in your understanding? And once that error is understood, I think this puzzle of what is suffering, what is the root cause for suffering, and how to eliminate it will be properly understood. Madhuri has written that to let go pain also in witness mode. Yes, suffering will not be there, but it's very difficult to separate I, that is suffering, from the body. This is the problem. I think you're right, Madhuri, when you say that it is difficult to separate I, because that I which you are trying to separate is an illusion. How can you separate it? See, the whole word and this memory of the word and this feeling of I, they all come together. I mean, this body, this word, and this mind, they all come together. They are not separated. They are never separated, in fact. Can you separate this body from this word? Can you separate mind from this body and word? In the sense that whenever the mind appears, it appears with some form of senses, which we call as body, and an outer experience, which we call as word. Now, these experience, this body and this mind, they change their states. Like in a waking state, there will be different word, different body, and different sort of mind which functions in that particular state. But when on once the state changes to, let us say, dream state, there will be a word, there will be a body, and there will be a mind. But that mind is totally disconnected from the waking state, word, body, and mind. But they are related also. So, what is the relation between these two? That is you. That is the real I, not that I which thinks in the waking state that I am this body or the mind, or which thinks in the dream state that I am this body and this mind, and this word is impacting me. So, if they two are exclusive events, one the waking state, the two the dream state, how can they be connected if there is no common link between the two? Who is linking the two? Who is there when there are no thoughts, or there is a gap in the thought, even for a microsecond? Who is there who is connecting the two memories? The memory of your childhood and the memory which you are having had 5 minutes back something you ate. So you see, the experiences are, how can we say any experience is true? Because for the time it is appearing to be true, it appears as true. But when the state changes, something else will appear as true. So how can I be sure that waking state is more truer than the dream state? There is no way, actually. There is no way. Because then we have to go, what is our criteria for truth? If we say my criteria for truth is that whatever I experience is true, then both dream and the waking state should be true because both are being experienced. And if my criteria is that something which is changing is not true, then both are not true because both are changing. Maybe one is changing fast and other is changing slow, but the criteria has to be very solid. So you see, nothing, there's no way, no ground on which you can base your all whatever you we have accumulated as beliefs, as something which has been given to us by the society. And what is society? They are also individualized mind body structures moving around here and there, like video games in which several characters are there. Sanjay has written that suffering is resistance to what is. Very, very nice, very good. Acceptance relieves mental suffering but not physical pain. Absolutely right, Sanjay. I agree with you completely that if there is no acceptance, then the suffering will be magnified. And if there is acceptance, okay, this suffering is also me, then where is the resistance? If I can see that, yes, the suffering is me, just be that with that suffering, right? Suppose anger is there and you think I should not get angry, and that resistance to not getting angry will make you may, may make you angry. I mean, that's actually possible. So point is that if the anger comes, you are the anger. If the desires come, you are the desire. Are they different? Can they exist without you being there? Can any emotion exist without you being there? Can the word exist without you being there first? So it's not first and after, it is there simultaneously. That therefore, whatever you are is the word, whatever you are is the emotion. So how can you get rid of that what you yourself is? I mean, illusion is also you to start with. If that be the case, how can you get rid of the illusion? Because that is you, that is your essence. What is the essence of illusion? We say emptiness. And what is the essence of experiencer? We say emptiness. And what is the essence of existence? Again, the emptiness. So if there is only emptiness, then how can emptiness get rid of itself? What is the mechanism by which it can be done? See, this cannot be understood by someone who is just starting on the spiritual path. But once you have done all sort of drama, in the sense of all sort of things you have tried, you have gone to various gurus, you have done a lot of practices, you have done a lot of meditation, you have tried everything and you have failed also, in the sense that either that practices are trying to achieve something, and whatever can be achieved or will be achieved or has been achieved can never be you, because you are the one who was achieving those things, those targets, those practices were trying to take you to some goal. So if you reach a goal, that means that goal was not you. So the whole purpose of spirituality is to know who you are, and to know who you are is always remain a mystery. It will be always remain unanswered. I have not found an answer to who am I, because the body or the mind or the intellect which is trying to find this answer is itself an experience, and one experience cannot know another experience. So this question will always remain unanswered in the form of an experience, but it is always answered in the form of beingness. I mean, if I is not there, no words will be spoken, no words could be listened. So there are three things related to I. One, that it is ever existing right now, right here. It cannot be denied. Two, there are no two eyes. It's not that my eye is different from your eye. And third, it is impossible to know what is I. If you take these three things combined together, I think the whole spirituality is solved. The whole quiz is solved. It's as simple as that, for me at least. I don't know about other people. What is your experiences? Madhuri is saying it is conditioning. We will have to unfold the layers and recondition. See, Madhuri, you are yourself conditioning yourself. So there is no conditioning actually. And who will unfold the layers? And what is the way to recondition? Whatever reconditioning will happen will again be conditioned by something else, right? So think it over. Rohit has said not to associate with body mind. Is not that the whole game? Who will not associate with body mind? Rohit, if you are there, you can either write or answer me. I don't know whether Rohit is connected. Yeah, he's there. So what is it that does not associate with body mind? Can you recognize that? Or anybody else will like to answer this question? Not question actually, it is a comment, and he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm just trying to go to more depth, more. I mean, to know you are not body. Absolutely right. So this, which knows that I am not the body mind, is the real you, right? Not the body mind structure. And if that is known, then the mystery is solved. That's what I said, that three things about I, if they are known, then the mystery is solved. One, that I can never be known as an experience, and I is ever known as an experience. So both statements are as true as black and white. Like there is nothing as absolute black or nothing as absolute white. There's always a mixture of the two, like darkness and light. They're all simultaneously, they are relative. Same way, I is the absolute, and I is whatever is experienced is also I. So if that I is taken in its own glory, like it can never be denied, there are not two eyes, and it can never be known, then the point which you made absolutely makes sense, that I'm not this body mind structure. This is the starting point, and I'm also the body mind structure. Then the whole mind settles down. There's nothing to do then. What can you do? I am the illusion, and I am the experiencer of the illusion. Now tell me, what can you do? What unconditioning can happen? What practice can happen? Who will practice, and what for? If you do some practices, what will you achieve? I'm not saying practices are not to be done, but at the level which we are talking right now, does the practice make any sense? If this point is absolutely grasped without any out of doubt, what is the need of any practice? Where you will progress? And even if I assume that I progress to an extent that all my sufferings are eliminated, all my, what do you call, impurities are gone, and I am the highest, what then? What next? Highest with relative to what? Who is there? In whose comparing, in comparison, I am progressing? I can say I was earlier bad, now I am good. Who was bad? Was it real? And who is good? Is it real? And how more good you can become. Is that any solace, any relief that I was not doing bad things, now I'm doing good things? The doer is still there. The doer of good things will take ownership and become have pride, and doer of bad thing will take remorse or grief or regret. They are all same. As long as doer is there, if any action is done which is without remorse or grief or regret and without any pride, that action is wholesome. That action is complete. And you see, everything is happening like that, like the sunlight or the rain or the flowers blooming or the wind blowing or the water flowing in the river. Are they taking any credit? I have done it. See, I'm fetching so much. I'm nourishing a tree. Does the water claim that? Does a tree claims I'm giving shelter from the sunlight? So the whole nature is happening, and the I itself is as natural as the whole nature. It is not different from the nature. The whole attributes of I, if you see, is same as what the nature is. I hope it is clear. I mean, Rohit, you are right. I'm not saying that what you are said is wrong, but just to make you very clear that understand both the things. I am not body mind structure, and I am the body mind structure. Both are true. Madhuri has said what we call as waking state, that is also a dream. Individualization is the main problem. Rohit has said Viveka Nanda said to know if you are realized when you say I. If the thought of body mind comes, you have a long way to go. Rohit, I don't know what Vivekananda ji said, but thought of body mind is not a problem. I mean, thought itself is a mind, part of the mind. Body itself is a, actually there is, body is experienced not as a body but as the mind, and mind is not experienced not as a mind but as I. Now, if that be the case, then where is the problem if a thought comes that body mind is there? Because let it be there, like let the car be there. If the car is there, what is the problem with this thought that car is there? I am using the car when it is required, but I'm not carrying the car all the time with me, right? When I've reached home or reached office, I just park the car and go away. I don't think about it all the time, right? Same way, body mind, nothing else. I mean, you don't have anything else better to work on other than the body mind. And therefore the thought is not a problem that body mind is there. The thought that I am the body mind is an issue. And if you are saying that, yes, that's what Vivekananda said, that thought of I am the body mind, then it is ignorance. And as long as that belief is there, so you won't be able to know what is freedom. Rohit has said all minds are manifestation of one experience, sir. How many minds would you improve? You are everything is non-duality. If you have that understanding. Yes, yes, correct. So you have made a very good point that all minds are manifestation of one experience. Actually, I think we discussed this last time, your question only. They're not two minds. So the minds doesn't have any significance as minds. It is only one mind. And there is no division in the mind. Whatever divisions are appearing to be, it is all an illusion, like in the dream. All divisions in the dream appear to be true, but they are all illusion, because there is no division in the dream once you wake up. Same way, when once you wake up from the waking state, you know that all divisions in the waking state are also illusion. Now, that waking up from the waking state is called awareness. That is called who am I? That is called I am the experience. That is called to see mind. I mean, there's a gap only which is required. See, mind is a collection of senses, right? Rohit has said yes, but we always think about improving our mind. See, I mean, this statement is true if you are talking in a relative sense in the word, but you say, what is your mind? I'm not, don't bother about what other people are thinking or doing. Just see what you are seeing right now. Don't don't take it from the word that say 99.9999% people think that word is true, the waking state is true, and dream is illusion. Okay, let them think that way. I'm not here to change anybody's thinking. Just see what is your experience. Do you have a mind which is separate, Rohit? And if it is there, then where is the boundary of that mind? Who is knowing that mind? Are you the one who is knowing the mind and your mind only? Or are you the one which is knowing the mind only? Or are you the mind and not the knower of the mind? See, if you try to answer these questions, you will come to a conclusion that I know the mind. So if I know the mind, yeah, you have rightly said I am the knower of the mind. So if you are the knower of the mind, how can you be the mind? And how can it be your mind? Like I own the car. I say it is my car. So you are not the car. When you say it is my mind, so you are not the mind. Absolutely. Is it not? You say it is my body, then you are not the body because it is your body. But that itself is a questionable thing, whether it is your car or it is a car which is made from so many materials or minerals available in the nature. Same way, is this your body or is it a accumulation of earth, water, air, and what you eat? Same way, is that your mind or it is the accumulation of thoughts, bits and pieces of memories, experiences, sensations? Which part of mind is you? Which part of car is called as a car? Which part of the body is called as a body? Body is accumulation of 30 trillion cells, right? So each cell has an individual life. So which which cell is called as a body? And they keep on dying. They keep on, some new cells will come and other cells will vanish. So is it not like some fiction movie, I don't know which, Hulk or something, where sand like substance move by air and they create a structure and they dissolve and they again create. Same way, like bubbles in the water, they just emerge and they uh, dissolve back. For a while they were there. So for the time when the bubbles were there, were they anything different from the water? Or is it only air and water combination which gave a form, which name is given as a bubble? You can name it anything, but it will still remain the same water. And it is temporary existence that the bubble came into existence and it went away. It existence vanishes, right? But the water remains. Same way with you. If you are the mind, then you will vanish with the disappearance of the mind. If you are body, you will vanish with the disappearance of the body. But is that true? Is body different from the word? Can you take away the body out of the word ever? And can you be ever the body? I mean, you can know the body exists. You can always think that it is my body. But even this statement, it is my body, makes you separate from the body because it is your body. It is not that you are the body. When you say, I am the body, then the problem comes. Even if you are saying it is my body, there is nothing wrong. Like it is my car, but you are not the car. Same way, you are not the body. So you see this distinction, and in reality, nothing is yours. Not even the car or the body or the mind. I hope it is clear, or else If somebody wants to add something or speak out, please don't take these things as being true, whatever is being spoken. Just see your own experience. There's no matter of belief here. There's no matter of you need to question. That's very important in path of
Hello.
knowledge. Yes.
This is Sanjay. Am I
Yeah, yeah,
audible?
please go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In regarding suffering, I wanted to add my experience on this. When the acceptance is there, even the intensity of pain goes down. If there is suffering, the pain also starts to enhance. But once there is an intensity, once there is acceptance, the attention also gets diverted, and the intensity of pain gets diffused. This I wanted to share.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
think
can,
Sanjay, there is sorry, please go ahead.
this anyone can try in duress of pain, just by accepting the magnitude of pain also comes down. Okay, continue, Ashwin.
Yeah, I think absolutely right, Sanjay. Thanks for bringing it. There is a technique given in Vigyan Bhairav Tantra also, I believe, and maybe Osho has talked about it. That if you be with the suffering, not even suffering, if you be with the pain, as you rightly mentioned, you accept it. I mean, you don't try to run away from it. Not that you are welcoming it, that okay, come, come, not that. But if pain is there and you just be with it, just stay with it for some time, you will find that it will start dissolving. Suppose you are unfortunately having had some problem, fracture, or another thing, and you are just lying on your bed. Now, there are two ways of doing in going through that situation. You are I mean, you are absolutely cursing yourself that why this happened, that fellow did wrong to me, and blah blah and everything. And you don't know what to do for 1 month, whatever time you are bedridden or whatever. Other way is if you just be with that pain for some time. Okay, I mean, if it is very severe, you have to take painkiller and whatever the doctors are doing. Fine, like, okay. But after that, when it is a manageable thing, just be with that. You will find that it goes away, as you rightly mentioned, Sanjay. And if you same logic, if you be with the suffering, it will be vanishing. Same, because it can't stay in that sense, right?
Yeah, I want to share one more incident. This will sound very far-fetched, but this is what I had experienced. I accidentally got my hands clamped under my chair, and out of the blue, I said, "Thank you, God," and that pain vanished away. This sounds far-fetched, but this really happened. There was no more pain in my body. Yeah, continue, Ashwin.
No, no, thank you, Sanjay. Again, this is what the practical application of what we say as truth is different from not different from our own experience. It can be corroborated what how the way you explained. So thank you, Sanjay. I think that's right. That's what I was saying. That for pain it is okay, more physical, more gross. But for suffering it is more subtle, right? The same way, if you can you accept the suffering that okay, I'm okay with the suffering. I'm okay with the unwelcome emotions. I'm okay with the addictions. I'm not saying that you get addicted, but point is that if you accept everything, whatever comes to life as a gift, as a I don't know what to say, as a gift only, as your own part, as something which can never be separated from you, then things will start changing. then the things which you wanted to get rid of will start disappearing, and things which you wanted to attract in your life will start appearing. Now, all this is not to be, this is not the aim again, that I want to get rid of something and I want to achieve something. Know very well the point from where we started our discussion, that know very well that nothing is different from you, and nothing is different from you, and nothing is real in that sense. So if that is well established, then the whole thing will appear as a drama, as a beautiful play which is going on. And in the play, the role of the villain is as important as the role of the hero. So there is no conflict as such. The wholeness, the beauty is in each event, or I would say that each event will become an excuse for you to explore the beauty which is appearing through that event, howsoever bad that event may be, because good and bad are relative, pain and pleasure are relative, right and wrong is relative. And who ascribes this relativity? It is you. It is you who says this is right, this is wrong, right? And it is you who says this should be done, this should not be done. And this is you who judges. But whenever you judge somebody, are you not creating a conflict in your mind? Is judgment needed? Whenever you are judging, are you judging, not, are you not judging yourself?
Hi, hey, this is Graham.
Yeah, please go ahead, Graham.
I wanted to comment on what Sanjay was saying. I think I have like a related practice that I think Guruji kind of pointed to, which is, when this body mind feels like it's suffering, it's a good reminder that I'm not in awareness. And what, again, it's just a practice, and as you say, not the point of the whole thing, but um, there's a lot of energy there with the wanting to get rid of the pain to do a practice. And the practice I like to do is to think, as you were saying earlier, what's so this is an experience this body mind doesn't want. What is in common? What's common with this suffering experience that I want to reject, that I want to go away instantly, with a blissful experience I can remember? What's I like um, the phrase one taste. What is the same taste that I can remember and feel there? And if nothing else, it distracts from the pain that's going on currently. But I also think that and this is where I thought of what Sanjay was saying. It definitely lightens things, and what I found is then kind of the experience of the pain, especially if it's emotional pain, can intensify, but it's okay at the same time, because I'm not trying to push it away anymore. I don't, and I think that relates to acceptance. So I don't need to push it away because I'm much more focused on this is just an experience arising, and as Guruji says, every experience is perfect and needed, and what is unfolded by Maya and Brahman, and that practice has, I think, helped me um, both alleviate pain and experience more, especially in terms of sadness. Um, this time of year is fall, and I think about I think it's kind of natural. You end up thinking about death, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. The end of collecting is dispersing my kids who I love. I mean, eventually I'm going to be separated from them. Oh my God. And I feel this, sadness. It's all natural, but I feel this sadness. And other times I had to push that away. But I found uniquely after getting the knowledge from Guruji recently that this fall I've been able to just feel that a lot more intensely. And there's, I there's some sweetness there, and yeah, so that's just an experience I've had. Thanks.
Thank you, Graham, for bringing it. So, I mean, you brought up one very nice point, which perhaps, I mean, I will like all people, all seekers who are connected to today's call to just contemplate on it. You said if I have a pleasant experience or a blissful experience and an unpleasant experience or a bad experience, what is the commonality between the two? How they are same or how they are different? So, what do you people, what do you all think? What do you think that are the same or they are different? Or is there something common between the two? Or there's nothing common between the two? Like, let me put it more grossly. You are eating an ice cream. You taste is very good, very nice. And after some time you are eating something else which is not, which is very, very bad taste. Like you ate it by mistake, presuming it to be something else, and then you found no, it has very bad taste. How these two experiences different from each other? Or like a pleasant memory and an unpleasant memory, what is the commonality or differences between the two? So if, I mean, I don't think people are very keen to answer
Hello,
this question. Yeah.
hello. Yeah, I
Yes,
would like
please.
to speak on this. Yeah. First of all, the commonality is that they are sensations or perceptions. This is the commonality, and the difference is based on our survival mechanism. One is pleasure seeking, and one is avoiding pain. This is the difference, and why that's why there is a conflict when we are getting a pleasurable experience. We try to have more of it, and what is painful or not registered as helpful for survival is taken as a punishment. Carry on, Ashwin.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanjay. I believe you are right. And that's very correct answer. But if you go further deep, actually they are one and same. The both experiences are empty. They leave memory, which is again emptiness. Now, if you stay with a pleasant experience and just accept it, as you rightly mentioned some time back, and if you stay with an unpleasant experience and just be with it for some time, they won't leave any impression on you. If you, as you rightly mentioned, that if you try to stick to a pleasant experience and if you try to run away from a unpleasant experience, then it will stick with you. But if that stickiness is not there, that, sorry, clinginess is not there, that I want this to be, to continue and I want this not to continue. If that desire is not there behind it, that you don't want to run away or you don't want to grab something, that is acceptance. That's what you said, no? Acceptance is very beautiful word, because it will take you and lead you to surrender. Surrender to what? Surrender to who you are. Surrender to your beingness. Surrender to the I which is there, and surrender to that I is experiencing itself as an experience. Now, what for you, from what you can run away or what you can grab? What is that which you can do sacrifice, renounce? And what is it that you can, what was yours which you renounced? Which experience has left a mark on you till date? I mean, there are several experiences which you will say that they left a mark. Where is that mark? Is there any solid thing which is can be said as a mark? There are millions of experience you had from your birth till date, even in this lifetime. How many of them you remember right now? Maybe few of them. Why? Where are others? And even the ones you remember, where are they? Are they real? And can they exist without you being there? Were they real when they were happening? Or are they real right now when they are just as remembered as in memory? Or will they be unreal if they are forgotten? And so the only reality is I, which we can say experiencer. See, the experiencer cannot be coined as a term experiencer unless the I is there. You can name it anything. You can call it cow. You can call it anything. Doesn't matter. The I will still be there. Was I ever absent? Somebody will say, yes, it is not there in a deep sleep when the dreams are not happening. But is that the fact? Because when you wake up, you always say, I had a good sleep, which was dreamless. Who knew that it was a good sleep? This is the first thing, that I is never absent. The second thing, there are not two I's. That one I which is in me, and there is another I which is in you. That is the most fundamental problem, which ignorance which we have. If that is known, the third part will become very clear, that I cannot be known. Because if I is known, then that needs to be different from I. Then it no longer remains the I. So I hope this is the message today. I don't know. I just came to my mind that these three things are very important. We can contemplate on these three. And these are the fundamental things about I. I is giving reality to which is unreal. And that which is unreal is also the I. I is experienced by I, and that is coined as some experience. Is it not like that? Is it not like this right now, right here? Is the one who is listening right now, right here, different from the source from the voice is coming? Is there any difference between that source from where the voice is coming and from that source which is listening the voice? Are they different? Then how can a pleasant experience be different from an unpleasant experience? They are both illusion. If you speak to your guru, I mean, you get beautiful feeling, and you eat food after a while, you get beautiful feeling. How they are different? Where is that experience which happened sometime back, speaking to your guru and eating a good food? They may be apparently seemingly different, that yes, the sensations were different, but both were likable, right? Who liked that? And after a while, both will be fading into the memory, sort of forgotten. Who forgets? And who remains? And who has that common link between forgetting and non forgetting? Who brings it back? And from where? Where they were stored? Was there any place where it was stored and from where it is abstracted or pulled back? But they were pulled back. So they were stored where? And if it is stored from somewhere which is not you, can you pull it back? So I hope today's discussion is, I think there are a few more comments. Madhuri said that, okay, Anuradha has said rise above suffering by being in awareness. Even being in awareness is a effort. Let that effort be forgone, forgotten. I mean, let it be there, let it not be there. It is again a fluctuation in the mind. Madhuri has said that wave does not resist when it is going to merge with the ocean, else it will freeze, and that will also an illusion that she is separate from the ocean. Yes, there is no resistance in the nature at any point of time. Does the does the does this what do you cloud resist the sun, or they are just present? Does the darkness which comes because of cloud being there resist the light? They are just doing what they are supposed to do. Rohit had said Vedanta wave will not have this problem. Shyam has said being in awareness non-awareness still is a duality. It is still a fight. Drop off both and be free. Yes, I agree with you, Shyam here. Rohit said that both illusion from absolute point of view. Both are illusion. I don't know what reference was this. Only experience is there in deep sleep. Okay. Yes. Even why only deep sleep, Rohit? Only experiencer is there even in the waking state. Only the experiencer is there even in the dream state. Just contemplate. Madhuri, until there is mind, there will be separation. Until there is mind, there will be separation. What else is there other than the mind? Mind drops. Where it will go? The speaker and the listener are the same. So you are saying once the mind drops, then the speaker and the listener are the same. Absolutely right. M- Rohit had said mind is active in waking dream state. Yes, but mind is active even in the sleep state, deep sleep state. Have you how can you say that it is not active in deep sleep? The difference is that those memories are not formed because those are irrelevant to your waking state. But it is highly active in deep sleep. That's what I have heard from my guru and other, and that's what the inference I can derive also. Because see, once you wake up, you say that I had very good deep sleep, and there is a good sensation in the body, it is relaxed, right? So you can say for that moment, for those moments when you were in deep sleep, that I was just merged within itself. It was not having those experiences which are relevant to the waking state. But it doesn't mean it was not having any experiences, because experiences will never stop. So it was active, but it was active in a more subtle manner. And maybe it was more active than it is active right now in a waking state. Because in the waking state, it is concentrated on few things like a thought, like a scene, like a sensation. But in that state, it is just expanded. And that feeling of I am separate is gone. And that feeling of I am separate is gone makes you the whole. That is the fundamental thing. They say that experience is recorded in causal body. I'm not sure. Yeah, all experiences are recorded in the causal body for that matter. If you are right, nothing wrong. Why you're not sure? Because that's what I was saying, no? That from where it comes, any experience, let us say when you were 5 year old and you have tasted a lollipop. Now, if by some mechanism in the brain, if some triggers happen, some stimulation is there, given, it may so happen that you can vividly remember that experience again. How it is possible? And it may, if you go to similar place there and you see the same lollipop, just theoretically, similar lollipop, same place, you may again get some glimpses of those memories. So it is stored. It is stored in causal body, let us say. And what is causal body? So that will be another chapter. We can maybe take up next Friday. I hope all got some answers to their questions, or even if you have not, I don't know. This is what I know. And this may be wrong. I mean, this can be absolutely wrong. So don't believe what is being said by anyone. Just dwell on it. Just see what is your experience. And if there is a variation, if there is a difference between what is being spoken and what your experience is, please come up. Please share. Then maybe we both will understand much better about our own experiences, and the whole duality will start disappearing. So, thank you very much, all of you, for joining in and for taking time out to listen to all this, which is being shared. And see you next week. Thank you so much.